Hey everybody, John Reep here. You're about to watch and or listen to episode 43 of Country-ish, and we have a, dare I say, corny show for you today. Comedian Jeff Dye zooms in, but in small town news in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, they're mourning the brief life of an urban cornstalk. Plus the Panthers lost. I'm done with scallops, and Mark gets jumped off twice in one day. I'll go get it.
Just a country boy, and he's making it good. He was y'all's underdog, dressed in beer rolls, living next to the wood. He liked to eat the sushi, but he don't even feast. Not so much a country boy, it's more like he's country-ish. Moved out of his dream and headed for Southern Cal. Wound up in TV and film, making popsicle proud. Now this country boy is back with his family. Got himself a podcast, he knows it'll last, cause he's in Hickory.
That's right. I am in Hickory. And I'm happy about it. I hope you're happy, healthy, safe, and sound wherever you are. What up, bumpkins? This is another awesome, amazing episode of Country-ish, the podcast. Lots to talk about today. We got a good small town news. We got a funny comedian, Jeff Dye, Goodwill Hunting. Lots of things to catch up on. But let's get right to the man in the room with me. Sitting at my 139. It's a very good-looking man. His brother's famous. In fact, his brother's in a commercial right now, knitting yarn. I'm talking about Marcus Stamos. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
What is he knitting in that commercial? He's
knitting a sweater.
Yeah. Never knew he was a knitter.
No, I think that's part of the joke in the commercial. Is like, what are you waiting on? Jon Stamos to knit you a sweater?
Yeah.
And then he's sitting there knitting a sweater.
Yeah.
Can you knit? Have you ever tried knitting?
Never tried knitting.
What about crochet?
No. Or sew. Never
Never
stood in front of a sewing machine.
I haven't either. You ever given yourself stitches?
And I don't think he did either, really.
Oh, no, he probably can't knit.
No, he can't do none of that stuff.
Well, you would know. You're his brother. What's he good at that we don't know? Tell us something we don't know about Jon Stamos, your brother.
What is he good at? I think he's a good cook. I do know that. He can cook well.
Yeah.
He's just good at looking good.
Yeah.
And
he's been a job out of it.
He's old. But look at him.
Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going for.
You need to be him for Halloween. All you got to do is just get a suit and then just do your hair up a certain way.
I got to grow it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's catch up on our weekend. We spent some time together this weekend, and I think we got to lead with the most hilarious thing that happened to you. I'll just read the headline that I made up. Mark Stamos' car dies twice in one day, and my brother has to jump him off. It's weird to say jump you off. It sounds sexual.
Yeah.
You want my brother to come jump you off?
Thank the Lord for your brother.
So let's talk about this, and maybe I'll call Jason and get the facts. Actually, you start telling the story. No, let me call my brother. I'll do. That way I'll have him on the horn, and he can sit here and listen to you tell the story, and then he can he can weigh in and say, well, that's not how that went down, or that's not true.
Okay.
Let's call my brother Jason, who's very shy, by the way. He doesn't like talking, but he said he would do this. So let's see if he answers. Got him on speaker.
Hello.
Hey, Jason.
Hello, John.
How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How are you?
I'm doing great. Alan, can you hear my brother through this? Okay, good.
Yeah, we're good.
So, Jason, I got Mark sitting in front of me, and he's about to tell me the story of his battery dying twice in one day. And I want you to sit back and listen to it and then correct him or, make sure he tells everyone the truth is what I'm saying, okay?
Okay.
All right, Mark, go ahead and tell the story.
Do I need to hold the phone?
Just hold it near you so he can hear you.
So what day was that, Jason? Was that Monday?
ago, wasn't it?
So I get up and get ready for work like I usually do. Go outside. No, the car's not going to start. You got the ticking noise, so that's always usually a battery.
Oh, so you got in your car went.
Yeah. So the first person I thought of was your brother Jason, because he's had to do this before. He's had to jump me off before.
What? So wait. So Jason is like your go-to jump-off guy?
He is my go-to jumper cable guy. Yeah. So
Well, before, let me just say something. Thank you for not calling me. Continue.
Yes. Yeah.
What time was it?
it was 7
a.m.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Continue.
So yeah, I called Jason. I asked if he would mind coming jumping me off, and I like saying jumping me off a lot. But yeah, he said he would. He came over. It was raining like crazy. Had a lot of rain that morning. So he got out. He got wet. I got wet. We jumped the car off, and he said, "Listen, you might want to drive around about 15 minutes to get your battery to charge up, because if you don't, it may not start again."
Right.
So
Yeah, I think I may have said a little longer than 15 minutes. I just want to make sure you go a long way to work
he did.
and let it have time to charge.
Yep. And I didn't listen. So
What did you do?
So I got in the car and rode about 1 mile up the road to the store to get me some food for the day for work.
You stopped in at like a Walgreens to get some snacks.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you leave your car running?
No, I thought it would be just fine, so I cut it off.
This is great.
So I cut it off, and instead of going in the store, so I cut it off and just immediately, let's try it.
Oh, so you didn't even go in the store?
No.
So here's what you did.
Yeah.
You pulled into the parking lot of the store,
Yeah.
turned your car off, and then thought, well, let me try it.
Right. That's what I did. So
right.
I get the clicking noise again. So
Well, that's actually, let me say something.
Yeah.
Kind of smart in a weird way, that you know right away that it won't start. So you can go ahead and call Jason. He can be en route while you go shopping and wait for him inside the store.
Yeah, and I think I waited for him to exactly get right to work before I called him back, though. So
Yeah, how much time had expired between when Jason jumped you off the first time and then that second phone call?
15 minutes, Jason?
I was going to say it's more around 25, because it seemed like you may have purposely waited a lot of time that I told you to drive around to call me back and say, hey, it didn't work.
Yeah. I did sit in the parking lot and contemplate just a little bit, but it was raining. People were running in and out of the store. It was really pouring down rain. So, and I didn't have jumper cables. Jason took the jumper cables.
So this is Jason's fault.
A little bit. So I don't know what he did the first time he jumped me off, but the car wouldn't crank. So I had it was kind of his deal, like he started it, let's finish it,
Right. No good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah. So I called Jason, and Jason, he was pretty receptive about coming back. He came back and got out of the car, jumped me off again, but he left jumper cables this time, just in case. So I think that was a sign. Don't call me.
And were you?
There's eventually going to be someone somewhere that will jump you off if you have cables.
Right. Well, Jason, my question to Mark was, why didn't we try to ask someone in the store, hey, anybody in here have jumper cables? I can't get my car started. Why the need to call you a second time, especially?
Well, sounds like he didn't go in the store.
Well, yeah, but he knew that it wasn't starting, and maybe he just didn't want to get wet.
I just didn't want to bother people with it being raining like it was, and I knew Jason had jumper cables.
Yeah. Jason, can you weigh in here? Any thoughts? Anything wrong? Anything you want to add?
Are you mad at me?
Oh, no, I'm not mad at you. I love jumping you off on a rainy Monday morning.
You're the best, Jason.
I can't wait till the next rainy Monday morning.
Yeah, Jason's had to do this before, and and that's one reason I called him, because he had experience in coming and helping me get going.
That's right. I know exactly how to deal with him. I got to be patient. Just pet him like a little dog.
So, how many times do you think you've jumped off Mark? in the whole history of your life?
Well, 2 on Monday.
Okay.
And then before that, I don't know, Mark, what do you think? An additional 3 times?
Well, I don't think it's that many times, but
So this is crazy. I didn't know that Jason was your go-to jump-off guy.
yeah.
Right away, that's who you knew you were calling. You didn't sit in your car and go like, "Let's see here, I should call." Well, he's not awake. Well, then try to. So you went straight to Jason.
Straight to Jason because I knew he would be out. He works out. Yeah, he works out.
He knows I'll rescue him.
Right.
Jason will not tell me no.
He's up early anyway.
Yep.
He's up there. He's moving around. He's ready to go.
Exactly.
Jason, I think you should maybe start your own AAA club just for Mark. You know, like do other things too. Like maybe like if there's a flat. Have you ever fixed a flat tire for Mark?
I have not. Not
Okay.
yet. Don't be putting that out there.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. I owe you a bottle of your best Pinot, Jason. I owe you that. So let me know what you like. I got you.
By the way, Jason, Mark did give me the jumper cables. They're in the back of my car. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
All right,
Jason.
well, I might get you some jumper cables for Christmas.
Oh,
great idea.
You know, you can get these extra battery things that are made for this very thing.
Yeah.
So you don't even need to ask for another car. You can just pull this thing out and start your car. Am I right, Jason? Alan's shaking his head. Yes. I feel like this.
Yeah.
I feel like that exists.
Yeah, so you're probably right. And since you say another car, this is the first time I've jumped this car off, though. It's always been a different car.
Well,
So that's one way of you like initiating your cars is like, well, it's not my car until Jason comes and jumps it off one time.
yeah.
That's right.
I just need to run around with a
We
new
broke it
battery.
in.
Yeah. It kills me, though, that the second time, like that you pulled into the store. See, in my brain, you went into the store, came out, then realized it didn't start.
No.
You pulled in knowing that you're taking a chance here.
Yeah, but I had
Because you knew it. He told you.
but I had a cushion. I knew Jason was there,
Yeah.
and I knew he'd come back, and there was no worry on my end at all. So I knew Jason would
But
be
you
there.
were worried enough to not go in the store first. Like you consciously thought to yourself, well, I better sit here and try it again real quick.
I know.
Which means you knew that you were about to screw up.
I did know.
And you did it anyway.
Yeah, I did. I did. I
Yeah,
did.
you could have done that while I was at your place the first time I jumped you off, just if you wanted to test it.
Yeah, I know. We could have hung out and let the car run for a little bit before you left, but we didn't.
Well, Jason, thanks for being on the show and clarifying all that stuff. We're going to move on now, okay? Mark might call you
All
later
right.
tonight, just FYI.
I'm not jumping his car off tonight.
Yeah, Jason
Yeah, you-
only does morning shift. I do the evening shift.
Well, he's got the jumper cables now, so yeah, you are. Yes,
No,
you are.
I
don't
have.
have. Oh, you have.
I still have
John
them.
still has it.
Technically, I'm on Mark watch right now.
Yeah.
So
So
if
I'll-
something,
Give those back to Jason, please, real quick.
I will tonight. I feel like Jason's, it might be a double team effort now because I'm a late night guy and Jason's an early morning guy.
Yeah.
So in the mornings, you call Jason. In the evenings, you call me.
But do you even know how to hook jumper cables up?
Here's what I do. When you call me, I call AAA for you
Ah, yeah.
because I pay a service for this and I
Okay.
would just have them come out. I would pretend that I was with you and it's my car.
Plus, yeah, I didn't think you knew how to hook jumper cables up anyway.
I can do that. I used to work at a Goodyear for 2 years. I can at
That
least do that.
is true.
I can change oil, tires, and I can do the jumper cable thing. But that's it, really.
You're manly.
Yeah. All right, Jason. Enjoy your kickball game.
That's tomorrow night.
Enjoy that tomorrow
Yeah,
night.
you don't need to keep up with your
Yes.
brother.
Yeah, but this
All right.
comes out. This comes out Friday. Maybe he's playing again Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right. Bye,
See you,
Sickle.
Jason.
All right. See you.
Jason Reap, everybody. Wow,
Little brother.
that was funny, dude. I can't
Yeah.
believe that happened to you.
Yeah, you didn't know I'd cut it off before I went in the store.
Part I didn't. You didn't tell me.
Yeah, well.
see, to me, that's just a funny scene in a movie. Like a guy pulls in, knowing that he needs to. Like, I think I would have risked someone stealing my car and have left it running.
I thought of that.
Then went in the store, then got in the car.
I thought of that, but I had a computer in the car for work, and
Someone would have stole the computer.
yeah, I thought about putting the
Well,
about
would
taking
you
the
have
computer.
locked the door?
You can't. I didn't have an extra set of keys. I don't think you can lock it while it's running.
Right. Yeah. So so the car and the computer could have been stolen.
Yeah. I'd rather the car get stolen than the computer
Yeah.
because the battery was dead.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a way you could jump off a car with a computer.
USB. Yeah, I think so.
I think that exists. All right. Let's move on. Well, I'm happy you got that result. Did you get a new battery?
I got a new battery that afternoon. Yeah. So
Where'd you go?
I went to Napa.
Napa Know-How?
Napa know-how.
Napa Know-How.
Yep.
Did they know how?
Took them a little bit to get it. It was raining there too, so I walked in there and I'm like, I want to be cool. I was like, so I want to see about getting a battery, and I'm not from around here. I'm from out of town. Do you mind putting it in for me?
Why did you say you're from out of town?
Because I didn't want them to think that I couldn't put a battery in. Yeah, I didn't tell you
You
that.
were all insecure. They're going to take away your man card. If you walk in, you go like, I don't know how to do it. Can y'all do it?
Well, a lot of people do their own maintenance, but I was like, yeah, I'm from out of town. I'm not from around
So
here.
you lied to them.
I did. And I was like, do you guys still install batteries? And they said,
I
"Yeah,
hope
we do."
that one of these guys see you out somewhere in Hickory and go like, oh, I thought you was from out of town. What are you doing back here?
They had all the tools and everything. I didn't have tools.
Yeah.
Something from out of town.
Which Napa was it?
Highway 7.
In Hickory?
Yeah, right here in Hickory.
I'm going to go there and make friends with them.
You should.
And I'm going to tell them that you lied to them, that you're not from out of town.
Plus, it was raining. I didn't want to get wet, so I stood inside the whole time while
It all boils down to is like you're like a cat.
I'm lazy.
Who doesn't want to get wet.
Yeah.
You get in your car and you're like, oh, it won't start. Call Jason. You get to Napa. Oh, I don't know how to do it. I'm from out of town.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't do that in my town. We don't change batteries in my town.
Help me. Take care of me.
I'm a little cat. Anyway, well, good. Better luck in the future with your car.
Thanks. Happens to everybody.
All right. So, what do you want to talk about next? Do you want to talk football, or you want to talk about our night out? You and I went to Hickory Station.
Scallops. Yeah. Let's talk about some scallops. I've never really been a fan of scallops. Never really had them. I cooked them a couple weeks ago on the grill.
Yeah.
Wrapped them in bacon.
Yeah.
And they were really good. I bought them from a fresh fish market.
Right.
Was happy with them. But I know you ordered some.
Well, let me
Saturday
say
night.
this.
Yeah.
I don't do. I like shrimp. Okay. To me, a scallop is like a fat, juicier shrimp that you don't have to peel. And I don't eat them that much. But if they're buried in pasta and that kind of stuff, and it's in there, I'll go like, oh yeah, I'll eat some scallops. But I hadn't had scallops in a long time until you made them that night. You wrapped them in bacon and did some other stuff, maybe some Old Bay on it. I don't know what you put on it.
Bacon, that's it. Grilled
You didn't
it.
put any kind of spice or something? Okay.
I don't think so.
But they were really good. I couldn't stop eating them.
Right.
So then when we go out, waitress comes over. In my brain, by the way, I wasn't even hungry. I'm like, I'll just get something light. You know, because I hate like pigging out when you're out hanging out with a bunch of people and you pig out too much, and then all you do is want to go home because you're bloated and you're burping and you don't feel good. So I said, well, I'm going to be doing some drinking tonight. Let me just get something light. And then she comes over and she's like, gives a special of the day, and I hear scallops, and I go, oh, there's scallops. Yeah, I remember Mark making some scallops.
Yeah. I like scallops.
I like scallops.
Yeah. Let's do those.
Let me try the scallops. Scallops comes over. I'm thinking it's going to be like that. And whatever sauce they put on there, it's like a tomato-y sort of based sauce. It was good. And they had some sort of seasoning on it. But I bit in the first one. I was like, oh, yeah, we're back. Scallops. I'm okay with this. But then I got there was a crunch in there, like a grit.
Did it get your cavity? You know, sometimes you can get something on your cavity and crunch it.
That's your filling.
Yeah.
No, I don't have metal fillings anymore. They're actually they have new fillings now that aren't metal anymore.
They're clear. Yeah.
So it doesn't that doesn't happen anymore. But it can. It has happened. No, it didn't get back there. This was right here, the front side of my. I got like you can imagine what if I gave you a piece of gum, right? And on the back side of it, you didn't see it. I had just like dipped it in sand.
Yeah.
And you didn't know it was coming, and you went, "Oh yeah, a piece of gum." Like it was like that. And I thought maybe it was a mistake, and I thought maybe it's the seasoning, and maybe some sea salt.
Something didn't cook all the way.
But But then someone was saying, "Oh no, that's scallops. They're bottom feeders,
Like a carp.
Yeah. And they do because they're bottom feeders. They just have sand in their bodies, and so you're just eating sand.
Have you ever seen?
Is this true?
I have no idea, but I don't know if I've ever seen a scallop in real, like in the water. Have you ever?
I've never seen one out in the wild.
I've never.
Yeah. What does a live scallop look like before you cook it?
I don't know.
Do they have a shell?
Does it have a head? Does it? I don't know.
I have no idea.
To me, what a shrimp looks like. It's
just a disc-looking piece of meat.
It's really good if you cook it right.
Well, if you do it.
But you had a bad experience.
I had bad scallops, and it bothered me the rest of the night because I was jealous of what everybody else ordered. That's the worst, man. When you're hanging out with a lot of people and everyone orders stuff and you're going like, yeah, I would get that, but that's a lot of food. I don't want to fit. And then you hear somebody else go, oh, like, oh, man, I didn't think about that.
Got that.
Why didn't I do that? And then I go, scallops.
And you get
thinking that
4 of them. Instead of getting a whole plate of meat, steak.
And what did you get?
I got a steak. But I gave you a lot of my steak. I felt bad.
You did.
I did saw off a couple pieces of
it was
beef
really
jerky
good.
for you.
I was
good.
I was like mad at myself for not getting the steak.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to make you some scallops, and we're going to redeem the scallop. We're going to bring it back. We're going to fix that.
Well, I'm nervous. I'm like,
I know.
I might not ever go back to scallops. Something else that night, topic of conversation, moved over to oysters. Don't do oysters either. Don't understand the need for oysters as a food.
Why? Because you have to put a lot of shit on it to make it taste good.
Right.
Why?
If you need to do a lot of doctoring up of your food, then do you really like it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I liked the scallop the first time, was because you put bacon on it.
Well, they said bacon makes everything.
Exactly. So I don't do oysters because it needs
bacon,
salt. It needs some sort of hot sauce. It needs
horseradish, lemon.
Yeah. You got to do all this stuff to it, and then you don't even chew it.
You just
chug it. What's the point?
Never have got it.
Yeah, I'm not an oyster guy. I do like sushi though. Speaking of which, at some time, the Alan Jackson, we need to schedule the outing with Mr. Intern Isaiah back there.
Yeah, absolutely. We can get that.
We need to talk about that.
Night out, a countryish night out.
Countryish night out with Intern Isaiah.
What's going on there?
Well, we haven't totally planned it yet. But when Pauly Shore was on a previous episode, his intern, a guy named Bang Bang, came on and talked to Intern Isaiah. And Bang Bang used to be a sushi chef. And then Isaiah's like, oh, wow, I've never had sushi before. And I go like, we need to take Isaiah out. So we're going to go get him a tux, and we're going to have a date, a manly date. Me, Isaiah, and sushi.
Yeah.
We're working on that. So we're working on that.
I just found out he didn't have a car a while ago. I didn't know he didn't have a car. I was like, where's your car, Isaiah?
Sean Setzer has it.
He don't drive. He said he liked to be chauffeured around.
Is this true?
Yep.
I know you're 19. I know you. Do you have a driver's license?
No, I still have my learners.
Learners.
Well, that's why he don't drive, because he's got his learners.
Not learner's permit. What did we call it?
Learner's permit.
Learner's permit. It's just a learner's now.
Just a learner's for short. Yeah. All right, let's move on to some football talk. Did you watch football this weekend?
Yeah, I watched the Panthers game, I think. Yes, I watched.
It was not good. I mean, we're not. We might win 3 games this year.
If we're lucky. Yeah.
I think we made a lateral move in getting rid of Cam and getting Bridgewater, because the exact same thing is happening. What you see is Bridgewater doing well. It's like completion, scramble for a first down, completion, get to the 10-yard line, interception.
Yeah.
And it gets your heart rate going, you get excited, and then interception or fumble or something. So it was disappointed. We don't have a great defense, and I'm not excited for the Panthers season this year. I'm going to keep rooting for them, but I'm not excited about it.
Yeah, so we're gonna lose most games. Maybe, like you say, win 3, and we're going to get, what's his name from Clemson, the quarterback.
Yeah, I say we tank this year.
It's already, 2 games in?
Why don't we do this? We got to start a campaign. All my bumpkins out there, if you're a Panthers fan, let's start a campaign. to lose the rest of the season, but let's make the competition about how good we can lose, how creatively we can lose. You know, can we lose by 57 points? Can we lose by 100? Ooh. Has any team ever lost by 100?
No.
Like, let's have fun with it. Let's be the Bad News Bears of this season. Yeah. Let's do what Bill Murray did in that movie where he went. What was that camping movie? Shit. What's the camping movie?
Meatballs.
Alan knows.
Did you ever see the movie Meatballs?
Yeah, I think so.
Bill Murray's like a camp counselor, and he's got a bunch of misfit kids that he's, you know, in charge of. Yeah. And they have to play basketball against another camp, and these guys are good, and they know they're going to lose. And his whole point was it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so they just horse around. They pull their shorts down. They do goofy stuff, but they have fun losing. We need to do that this year, Panthers. Let's tank this season. Let's get the number 1 draft next year from Clemson, whatever that quarterback's name is.
It's Hollywood.
Mr. Hollywood.
Yeah.
He looks like one
Sunshine.
I'm Sunshine.
Oh.
Samantha Dawn Kingston calls me Sunshine. That's my name.
She can do that.
Yeah, but whatever that quarterback from Clemson. I mean, Bridgewater I was never excited with that pick. I don't know why we did that. Anyway, I say we tank. We've got to come up with a hashtag for this.
Well, we've got our running backs out. So
Christian
4 to 6
McCaffrey.
weeks. So that was our offense anyway. That was
Luke, let's just let him take the rest of the year off. Just heal, dude.
Yeah.
Tank this year.
2 games in, we're going to tank. 2 games in.
Why? But tank good.
But you got to fill seats next year.
Like I'm talking. Well, if everyone's in on it.
Oh, even
like
the
if you
fans.
don't make it a secret. Yeah. There's no one coming to the games anyway. So it's not like people are going to be felt ripped off. Like, I can't believe y'all lost on purpose. I paid so much money for this ticket. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm not here. Just COVID.
Yeah.
Like, no one's even going to the games. This is a great time to tank. If you're ever going to tank, this is the time because no one's even going to the games. Yeah. But if you're going to tank, I mean, make it obvious. So, like, first and 10, down said Hut. Walk over and hand it to a lineman.
Oh,
on the other team. Here you go, buddy. And then let a big fat guy from the defensive line run like 99 yards to the end zone and run next to him and like, you got it, go.
Yeah.
Like have fun with it.
Or just give our own offense, just let people run the ball that would never run the ball, like the kicker, punter.
Yeah. Sometimes punt on first down.
Yeah. Because we know we're not going to get a first down. Let's punt it.
I'm telling you, this won't happen, but it should. This is the perfect time to tank.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a clever hashtag. All right, Bumpkins, if you're out there and you're listening to this, come up with a hashtag. Let's get this going. Let's get the Panthers organization on the same page as us. Lose the rest of the games, get the number 1 draft pick, and have fun with it.
But lose big.
Lose big.
Yeah. Go big or go home.
That's right. I did have fun watching other football games, though. I watched our ex-quarterback play football for the New England Patriots. Watched that game. Patriots and, God, I just lost it. Who were they playing?
Patriots were playing.
Seattle. Because it was Belichick versus Pete Carroll from the Seattle Seahawks.
Pete Carroll. Yeah.
And, you know, as an ex-Cam fan, I will say I'm an ex-Cam fan because he no longer plays for the Panthers. By the way, I never really was a huge fan. I was sort of tolerated him. I liked him when he won because that's the team, but I hated the pouting and all the other crap. So I was rooting against him because I don't want him to do well because it would make us look bad.
Yeah, you wish you would have never got rid of him.
Everyone's like, you missed him now.
Yeah.
Well, you missed him now. What do you think now?
What'd you do that for?
So I was just like sitting back. I'm like, just wait for it because he was doing good. I mean, he had like almost 400, maybe over 400 yards passing. And he threw to Edelman a lot of completions, a lot of running. He did good.
Yeah.
And then you can see the chatter going. I follow like a certain Panther fan face group page, and they're like, what do you think now? I'm just like, just wait. Just wait.
It'll happen.
And then they blew a lead, and then they started coming back. It was like 3 seconds left, and now Cam has a chance. They're only down 5 points All they need is to score a touchdown, and the game is over, and they win. And the Patriots, with Cam Newton as quarterback, have a chance to win this game.
Yep.
And he didn't score. And I go, get used to that feeling, New England.
Yeah.
Because the feeling that Cam would give you as a Panther fan was like, yeah, we're going to be yeah, first down, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
So get used to that.
I kind of like the guy myself.
Which one?
I like
Belichick?
Cam. I like Cam.
I liked him when he won. I didn't like the dabbing. I didn't like the Superman thing. I didn't like the pouting.
Yeah,
I didn't need the necessary scarves.
Yeah,
I think
spoiled. It's okay. It's part of growing, and I think he's past that now. But
we'll
I like
see.
the guy.
We'll see. I'm still going to root against him because it's also a place for New England, and they're like it's fun to root against New England because they've won 8,000
Yeah.
Super Bowls.
Enough's enough of that.
So I'm done with that. But I did notice something funny on the sidelines. Now the NFL is making everyone wear masks.
And they will fine you if you don't. Did you
That's
see
right. Who got fined?
that? Pete Carroll got fined.
Oh, his mask was coming up like a turtleneck.
Well,
Like he was bringing his up.
He didn't have it on a lot.
He would take it down a
He
lot.
got fined. They fined him a lot of money. It's like $100,000
Wow.
for him, and then they fined the team a lot of money too. So
Yeah.
it was him and the team. So
It's ridiculous.
know.
But the players,
and they're tested before too.
here's the thing. The players are the ones all up in each other's faces,
Yeah,
The offensive line, the defensive line, they're
that
like
close
right
to each other.
here.
yeah.
And they're not, they're wearing a face mask, but this part's left empty. Why don't they put a freaking mask over the face
What's the
mask
difference,
if
man?
they're going to be that serious
What's the
about it?
difference?
But anyway, I was confused and delighted at the way Bill Belichick chose to wear his mask.
Okay, but did you get a picture of the Kansas City Chiefs coach?
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid mask,
Different
the
game.
welder mask.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
I wish we'd have thought of that. That was a good one.
Well, Andy Reid, his mask is just a face shield. And it's hilarious because at the bottom half of it, because he talks all the time, it was fogged
Fog,
up.
yeah.
But up here you could see. So it was actually kind of perfect because you couldn't read his lips. You didn't know what play he was calling.
Maybe that was part of the play.
Maybe that was
But it
part
still
of
looked
it.
funny.
But Belichick had an original take on how to wear a COVID mask. And I think we have a picture, Alan. Let's look at this.
Yeah.
Now, he's got your regular standard, it looks like the official one that you're supposed to have with a little filter on the side.
Yeah.
What do they call that? RX 4700?
700.
Yeah. something.
Yeah, I was
I
just
don't remember.
making
R45,
yeah. Yeah.
N95, N95.
It's an N95 mask. So he's got the official one, but he's folded it up over his lip. So it's only covering his nose.
Yeah.
And it looks like a raven's beak.
It does look like a bird beak.
What? Now, is this an FU to the NFL? If you're going to make me wear your mask, I'll wear it the way I see fit, and I'll make us all look stupid. Or is that him just going like last minute, going like, oh yeah, I can talk better if I just do this,
Yeah.
and just not realizing how dumb he looks? Is he aware of how dumb he looks, or does he care?
I don't think he cares. He don't. He listen to him in press conferences. He don't. I don't think he cares.
I think you're right. Yeah, I'm going to go with he don't care, especially since his wardrobe half the time is ridiculous as well with sleeveless hoodies that he wears.
But he got away with it. I think. I don't think he got.
Did he
fined.
get fined?
Not that I know of. I think he got
Because
away.
technically he's wearing the mask.
Yeah. Good for him.
Someone should come out and hand him some bird food. People should start
Bird
throwing
feed.
bird seed at him.
Yeah.
Like the opposing fans, just start throwing bird seed at Belichick.
He does look like a raven.
Get him like a little pile
Or a
of
crow.
bird seed like the Roadrunner used to do to that.
Yep.
Bugs Bunny used to do the Roadrunner. Come out and just go. That's what he needs.
Yep.
I thought that looked hilarious. So I enjoyed watching this game, and then I'm just cutting to Bill Belichick every now with his bird beak. And watching Cam lose.
Andy Reid's was better though.
Andy Reid's
That was
was
the best.
more creative. I wonder if they gave them like, okay, coaches, here's a list of 5 masks that you can choose from.
Yeah.
Choose your weapon. And then Andy Reid goes, oh, hell, I can make one out of an old water filter tub. So, I don't know. Looks like what do you call a big jug of water? A water cooler?
Yeah,
he just cut it out himself?
Yeah. Tied a string to it. Put it on there.
Right. Folks, don't go anywhere. We've got a lot of show to do. We've got small town news coming up. We've got an interview with Jeff Dye, a very funny comedian, and we've got a special Goodwill Hunting coming up. I want to say thank you for listening, and I hope you will rate, review, subscribe, and share this podcast. We're everywhere. We're on Apple Podcast, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Stitcher, you name it, we're on it. And best thing you can do is share it. You can support the podcast if you click on the support button at countryishpodcast.com. We're on Patreon, and there's different levels. Check that out if you want to be a helpy helperton. And if you don't want to do that, like if you have zero money, but you still want to help out, best thing you can do, go to Apple Podcasts and write us a good review. Give us 5 stars and write a nice review. And since then, the deal I've made with listeners is if you write a nice review, I'll read it and give you a shout out on the show. So we have some new ones that I'd like to read for you.
I always love these, especially when they're good.
Yeah.
We've not had any bad ones, though.
No. Well, the worst one we had was a couple weeks ago.
I remember.
It was 4 stars instead of 5.
But was that the one where it said...
Please don't cuss.
I was here. Alan Jackson
That's a different one, yeah.
I can't remember, but you were funny. Alan Jackson.
Yeah, she says, the Alan Jackson is great. Jon is good. Mark is there.
Yeah.
Right.
In the way, like always.
So here's one from L. Blown Apart. L. Blown Apart, 5 stars, says, great podcast. A while back, I signed up for emails from the Comedy Zone in Greensboro, North Carolina. Normally, I ignore them, but not this time, and I'm glad. Very enjoyable podcast. Well, the Alan Jackson, what that tells me is the email blast from Brian Heffron paid off.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did have some good attention there.
Yeah. All right, here's another one. Isaiah is awesome. This one is from fans of Isaiah the Internet.
Isaiah wrote this.
Isaiah the intern.
Fans of Isaiah the. I just realized what I did.
I got my mom
I
I
mispronounced the word intern and said internet.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's not fans of the internet.
Right.
It's fans of
Isaiah
the
might be a fan of the internet.
Right.
And there might be fans of someone called Isaiah the Internet. But what this one is saying is fans of Isaiah the Intern.
Yeah.
Right.
And it got 5 stars. Isaiah is the funniest and most intelligent young man. May he go far in audio engineering. Very handsome young man. Awesome humor and overall great podcast. I wonder who wrote that. Thank you, Isaiah.
My mom wrote that.
Oh.
There you go.
Fan of Isaiah.
Or was it you?
Did you help her write that?
No, I didn't help my mom. Well, I told my mom to leave a review,
Yeah.
and that is what she came up with.
Well, I'm glad she did. Thank her for me. Here's one. I think this is a new one. Rick and Bubba again. Jon, you really cracked me up on Rick and Bubba. This is from Mexican-American Mamacita. You probably didn't know that you would get so many subscribers from that crossover. Can't wait to listen to you as I pass along my long days in my cubicle. Well, thank you, Mexican-American Mamacita. Here's one from Camo Kid 01. Great job, guys. 5 stars. America's favorite. Oh, that guy. Wait, who? Oh, yeah, the Hemi guy has hit the small time. Love listening to you guys while I'm working. The show keeps me laughing. Well, thank you, Camo Kid 01. I'll take that backhanded insult / compliment.
I was going to say, you haven't hit the small time. This is no small time.
Right.
This is big
What
time.
do they mean by that?
I could take this many different ways. The small time could be the fact that I was once on a sitcom. I was once in major motion pictures.
And lived in
and
L.A.
lived in Los Angeles.
Yeah, not here.
And now I'm in Hickory doing a podcast. That could be.
I don't see the problem. What's the
Or a
comparison here?
podcast in general are small time, according to this person. I'm not saying this is me saying this.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
it's
understand.
a small
I understand. I just,
All right.
get very sensitive about the
replying.
size of our.
Well, I'm going to say thank you because he did write a review and he did give us 5 stars.
Yes, it's got to be good.
Yeah. And I think those are all the 4 new ones right there. Unless there's best podcast ever, Don Juan Hickory, super show, so awesome to hear my stepson Isaiah on the podcast. Great job. There you go. So wait, your mom and your stepdad, Don Juan, is your stepdad's name Don Juan?
His name's Don.
His name's Don.
And he calls himself Don Juan sometimes for fun?
Yeah, that's what they call him at work. They call him Don Juan. But that was before he was single. So now that he's married to my mom, he's not Don Juan anymore.
I think he thinks he is.
He's Don Gone.
Don gone.
Don Gone. Well, that's awesome. All right, let's move on. Thank you for all the reviews. Appreciate it. Need it. Keep on reaping on. Don't forget we have a yard sale coming up. October the 3rd, we're doing a country-ish yard sale right here at the Jackson Creative Studios in the parking lot. We're going to be selling all the items that we exchanged on Goodwill Hunting. Not all of them. I did keep some. But yeah, some are at my house. Maybe I'll bring them. But they're going to be for sale. It's basically we're raising money for the podcast. Everything is going to be $5 or more. Don't come here try and bargain with us. All right, that's not the point. The point is for you to give us money for this podcast and also take home an interesting Goodwill gift that was on the show and meet the celebrities of country-ish. I mean, you get to meet Jon Stamos' brother.
I mean, the Power Bills do. Come on.
Power Bill do.
Power Bills do. Light card.
And, you know, the man of mystery will be here, Sebastian. We've got, I'm sure, intern Isaiah, the Alan Jackson. My mom will be here giving out. She has offered to give hugs for $5. If you want to hug my mother, you're going to have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost you $5. And she's good at giving hugs. So just know that. That's October the 3rd. Probably, what do you say, noon?
Yeah, noon sounds good.
Yeah, about noon to 5 or 6, whatever. We might have music. We might have some cornhole. We might have some food, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I'm going to bring some food, but I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah, Isaiah, did you say something about bringing food?
I said I could bake some cookies.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, bring some cookies. All right. All right. Let's move on to one of our favorite segments that people love. Okay. This is, dare I say, the anchor of the Country-ish podcast. One of those things that people will go, well, I have to listen to this episode because I know they're doing this segment.
We're just small town dudes with small town news, breaking stories of crimes committed you never do. Mind your P's and Q's or they'll cover you. The town may be small, but the news is huge.
All right. This is interesting. It made me think of all kinds of fun, interesting things that, happen not too far from here as well. This one's out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. You ever been up there?
Nope. Can't say as I have.
It is just below North Dakota.
Really?
You know how I know that?
No. You've
Because
been
it
there.
says South Dakota.
Oh.
So it's south
of North
Dakota.
There's 2 of them.
2 Dakotas.
Yeah.
No East Dakota, no West Dakota.
Is there another? We have 2. Is there any more
You
states
wanna
that
know?
have more than one?
You got North and South Carolina,
Yeah.
right? You got North and South Dakota.
Yeah.
You got Virginia, West Virginia. Is that the question?
That was the question.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Mexico, New Mexico.
Mexico's not us.
Correct. I'm trying to think. Alan, is there any that I'm forgetting that you know of? I bet Isaiah knows. Isaiah knows all kinds of random stuff.
He says that's it.
Oh,
That's all.
you nailed it.
I believe him. There's New York City and New York.
That's confusing.
Yeah. But this story happens in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I've been up there. It's nice. It's peaceful. It's tranquil. But I'm going to read you the headline. Sioux Falls, South Dakota mourns the brief life of an urban cornstalk. Yep, I saw the headline. I go, well, we got to dig into this. I'll read you a little bit, and then we'll watch this video, okay? The lone stalk was growing up through a crack in the concrete before someone ripped it out of the street. So basically, a cornstalk just started growing in the middle of a street, and people were like enjoying it. Kind of like what we got in Hendersonville of the coneweed.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up episode. I forgot what it was. We did an episode on the coneweed one time, a long time ago. Maybe, this is before I moved here.
I was going to say, I don't think it was with.
If you go all the way back, if we're all in the same channel, it was a fried episode.
The fried one.
Yeah. It's audio.
I don't know
only.
anything about the coneweed.
Yeah.
I've never heard.
Oh, you don't know anything about the coneweed?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you knew about this.
No.
So in Hendersonville, okay, let me tell you this first, and we'll read this story. In Hendersonville, North Carolina, they were doing some construction on a small road. And when they were done, I think this is the story, they left one of the traffic cones just off to the side of the road. And it stayed there for a long time. So long that weeds started growing through the cone. And up out of the cone come like this little coneweed. And people are like, oh, look at that. That's funny. They never picked up the cone. It's been there that long. And then they started decorating it for Christmas. So every Christmas, people would go to the coneweed and put ornaments on it and leave gifts. And it turned into a thing.
Until
some a-hole.
Yeah, it's always that one person that.
But the spirit of the coneweed lives on, because since then people have created Facebook pages and Twitter accounts, and they've started replicating the coneweed. So there are people who will put cones around their trees in honor of the coneweed. Yeah, ridiculous.
Keep it going.
So this story reminded me of that. Residents of South Dakota's largest city are mourning an urban cornstalk that briefly became a lighthearted beacon of hope during the coronavirus pandemic. It was reported Wednesday that the stalk had been growing up through a crack in the concrete at the intersection of 57th Street and Minnesota Avenue on Sioux Falls South Side. Dubbed the 57th Street Corn, complete with its own Twitter account during its brief lifespan, the plant was a symbol of resiliency and hope as the pandemic rages on, said the mayor. Finding joy in the small things will continue to help us get through what has been a challenging time in our country. It was amazing to see the community rally around the 57th Street corn as a sign of hope over the past few days. Residents reported Wednesday morning that someone had ripped out the lone stalk. Prompting an outcry on social media, someone attached a sign to a traffic post where the stalk grew that read, "Corn R.I.P."
Yeah.
The Stockyards Ag Experience, a group working to transform the city's vacant stockyards into an interactive experience, is selling T-shirts commemorating the stalk. This is hilarious and enraging to me. I'm mad that whoever it was that ripped out, probably Antifa.
Might have been them. Might have been them.
Somebody's like, no happiness allowed.
But I wonder how a corn, like so it's a corn seed? How does corn grow now? Like how did that grow right there? Like somebody eating an ear of corn, they chucked it out the window going down the road? And
well, there is corn. I mean, South Dakota has, it's one of them corn states. Like
a bird probably dropped it.
There's many ways this could have happened. You know what? My theory is that during the pandemic, when there's less people on the road, less people moving around, nature has sort of taken over a little bit. So I see more birds than I've ever seen. I see more random nature, grass, weeds growing everywhere. So this doesn't surprise me. But I think it's funny and cool how people start getting into dumb stuff like this. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
And I'm mad at whoever ripped it out. I would have loved to have seen this cornstalk grow all the way up, like Jack, was it the beanstalk?
Jack and the beanstalk.
Yeah, maybe it could have gotten like really, really high, and you could have climbed up it and had some magic beans. No, it's a beanstalk.
You don't think it would have died anyway? That's just me being negative.
You were negative Mark.
Negative Nancy.
Of course it's going to die at some point.
But
everything dies. Hey, Mark, everything dies.
Eventually.
Just so you know.
I know. And I think this would have too.
Well,
I think the
over
fumes,
time, yes.
Yes, the fumes from the cars probably would have.
But, I mean, imagine had someone not ripped it out. How long would it have gotten? And
we'll never know.
We will never know because some douchebag
probably would have died anyway.
Yeah. It's kind of like Field of Dreams. Build it, and they will come. This is like, don't drive around so much, and we will grow. And I think that's what happened. I would have liked it to gotten so big that like Malachi from Children of the Corn, just like you see a bunch of redheaded kids just hanging out around it.
Yeah.
And come out there doing like seances.
Do you think they took the cornstalk with them when they pulled it out of the ground?
I think if you're gonna take, yeah.
And then put it in a book. Remember how you used to put roses in a book?
Right. Yeah, this thing is a bookmark.
It's in a yearbook or it's in a wedding album somewhere.
Yeah. Let's show the video, Alec. Can you play it?
People travel here from all over the country to see the Corn Palace. Now people from all over Sioux Falls are hopping on 57th Street in hopes of finding a single stalk of corn. Rather than soil, the plant is growing right out of the road, and it's getting a lot of attention.
The 57th Street corn is an inspiration for at least 2 Twitter accounts and several social media posts. Some people are actually encouraging others to bring the stalk a bottle of water. 2 recent tweets came from Sioux Falls Mayor Paul Tenhaken.
I see it's kind of over on the curb there, kind of close. It's not in the middle of the street.
Very close to it, though, you can tell.
It looks like
Someone's
the
gonna run it
cornstalk
over
is
eventually,
trying to
right?
cross the street, waiting for traffic to die down.
It does.
It's just standing right off the curb.
It's not going anywhere.
And something I noticed in the very beginning of that video, and I'm just now putting this together. Did you ever see Children of the Corn?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Malachi, the redheaded, scary-looking kid?
Yeah.
Depressed nobody.
He was a little
Travel here from all over the
What color
country
is
to
the
see
hair
the
coming out of that cornstalk?
It's red hair.
It's like a little ginger to it, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does.
Maybe that's why Children of the Corn are redheaded people, because corn comes out. It starts off as a ginger, turns into
Blonde beauty.
Yeah. Well, just blonde, not necessarily beauty.
About beauty.
Jason would hate this piece because he does not eat corn. I bet Jason ripped it up. My brother can't eat corn, by the way, for all you guys listening to this. So growing up, I didn't do mashed potatoes. Like I hated that. I hated them. And Jason hated corn.
That's like the only 2 foods I would eat as a kid that my parents would fix, are mashed potatoes and corn.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I take it back. I was
corn
actually a
has-
pretty good eater. I ate a bunch of stuff.
Corn has
So
no
mashed
nutritional
How do you not
value.
like mashed potatoes, John?
I can barely
How do you
hear
not like mashed potatoes?
Well, the logic for me at the time was I can eat them now, by the way. I just don't.
Yeah.
I try to avoid carbohydrates.
Okay.
But I don't. You know what I mean? I do it like at night I pig out on all kinds of stuff. But I try not to do. I don't like baked potatoes. I don't like mashed potatoes.
Wow.
Because to me, it's like I'm eating baby food. It's like
Yes.
someone already chewed up the potato and spit it on my plate and goes, here, just swallow. Like I like to chew my food, and mashed potatoes to me was like ABC food, already been chewed.
I have no problem with that. So
ABC food. Never heard that one.
You never heard ABC?
No.
So I don't do, notoriously, this is like stories my mom and dad like to tell about me and Jason. I didn't eat mashed potatoes and Jason hated corn. Well, to this day, Jason still hates corn.
wow.
And mostly because he says there's no nutritional value in corn whatsoever. That's what he
Is that
says.
true, or is that just what he's
I've
invented?
heard
I've heard
that.
that, yeah.
I've heard other people say that too.
Yeah, it has nothing.
Like your body doesn't digest it. Like it comes out the way it came in. This is what I'm told. But as a kid, when we were like probably like 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there, sitting around the dinner table, Mom had made like whatever main dish, but there was mashed potatoes and there was corn. And me and Jason used to have a little deal. It's like, you take the mashed potatoes and I'll take your corn. Well, this one day, Dad wasn't having it. He's like, no, you finish your corn and you eat your mashed potatoes. Your mama worked really hard on it's one of them deals. Like, poor Jason's like sitting there eating his corn, and he just went, he just puked all over the table, and it just goes everywhere. And that was the last time that Jason ever ate corn.
Showed them.
It did. Yeah. Mom felt so bad after that. Okay, well, listen, that's the story of the South Dakota short life of the baby cornstalk that was murdered by Antifa. Yeah. Rest in peace, corn. Rest in peace. I hope you have a better life wherever you are. The town may have been small, but the news was huge. Don't forget, we have a very funny interview coming up with comedian Jeff Dye. We actually talk a little Cam Newton in this. And we have another sweet edition of Goodwill Hunting, but we're going to take a quick break. A bake break.
Let's bake it, man.
If I smoked weed, I would be calling it a bake break. But we'll be right back with more country-ish after this. Hey, everybody, it's me again. I just want to say thank you for listening or watching this podcast. You know, we couldn't do this without supporters like you. Oh, wait, are you not a supporter? Well, you could be. It's real simple. Go to countryishpodcast.com. Click on the word support. That will take you to our Patreon page. That's our support page. And from there, you can support us many different ways. There's different levels. You got $5 and up. You got Pewter Pro, Rhinestone level, Executive Zirconia, all the way up to Platinum Elite. And all of them come with different rewards. We're talking hats, t-shirts, ginger beard masks, even be a guest on the show. You got to check out our Patreon page. Go to countryishpodcast.com, click on support, and thank you. If you love this podcast and you love wearing shirts, well, we got something for you. If you go to countryishpodcast.com, click on merchandise, it'll take you to my store, and we have an awesome t-shirt for you. It's a Country-ish Podcast t-shirt. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? Also, it's got the website on there. It's a soft tee, very soft, feels good on your skin, and it helps us keep the lights on here at the studio. So check out countryishpodcast.com, click on merchandise, get yourself a t-shirt, and know that I love you. All right, we're back. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Mark, you know there's a pandemic going on still.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks, coronavirus.
Died off a little bit.
A lot of comedians aren't touring because of it. You know, they're trapped at home. So I take advantage of that situation, and I have them zoom in to my podcast. And this guy, he was on Last Comic Standing after me. He's been on a lot of TV shows. You'll know the face as soon as you see it if you don't remember the name. He's on Better Late Than Never with Terry Bradshaw, Henry Winkler, George Foreman, William Shatner. He's been on Lip Sync Battle. I Can Do That. All kinds of stuff. You guys sit back and relax. My little Zoom interview with the very funny Jeff Dye. Jeff Dye, as I live and breathe. Good to see you, buddy. How are you?
It's good to see you, man. I am lonely in this pandy. You know, it's been boring.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw you was right before I moved out of Los Angeles. I was hiking in Runyon Canyon in Studio City?
Either Runyon or Fryman.
That's it.
Yeah.
Fryman Canyon, and it was good to see. I forgot how tall you were. I'm like, Jesus.
I know.
Yeah.
Big freak.
So, good to see you, man. So, yeah, you're all alone during this pandemic, huh?
Yeah, well, it's just like I'm supposed to not go out of the house, and they want you to stay inside. And I committed to that for about 4 days. And then since then, I've just been like, I'm doing what I want.
Right. That's the same here. I do have a mask that I will bring with me when I go places. And I'm like, I'll look in the door where I'm going. Like, if they're wearing it, I'll definitely take it. If they're not wearing it, I'll just have it in the back pocket. I just don't want to be messed with, you know?
Yeah.
But I had my own made because I have a merch guy like we all do. So I put my face on a mask. I don't know if you can see
Nice.
that. Yeah.
I've seen yours. I've seen that mask.
Yeah.
And my buddy also has done that. He's a radio guy.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that you're like I like Jon Reap, but when I put that mask on, I don't look like that. Looks like a crazy version of you. That doesn't look like you at all.
That's true, and also it's not even accurate. Like the face is way zoomed in, and my my nose is like 8 times too big. I look like an orangutan or Harry from the Hendersons or whatever.
It looks like if you ran for office and they drew like some political cartoon of you where they like made your nose real big and like a big red beard, and they're like, bozo Republican candidate Jon Reap. And he's like, hey, don't make fun of me.
Right. So what have you been doing, man? I know we can't really tour right now. Are you just stuck in LA? Are you doing auditions? Are you doing stand-up? What's happening?
I've been touring to places that don't take the pandemic as serious. So I've done Utah, I've done San Antonio, I did Phoenix, Arizona. This weekend I'm in Appleton, Wisconsin. And then I've also just been doing a bunch of Zoom corporate shows. And I did a pop-up show in a park in San Diego on Friday. I wanted to ask you what you're doing out there, but I have another podcast. So I have 2 podcasts that I've been doing. One is the Jeff Dice Friendship, which is on All Things Comedy. And then the other one's with ESPN and Apple, and it's me and Russell Wilson. And so me and Russ, we're co-hosting a podcast. And it's been awesome because Russ is very straight. He's very, playful but not, edgy, and then he's also, the quarterback of the Seahawks. He's, a celebrity. And so I get to be the color guy, and he gets to be the straight guy. Right. And our first guest, episode 1, was Shaq. And so that's up right now.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It's been great.
I am jealous of that. I'm a huge NFL guy. We could talk about the NFL for a second, too. I had Russell Wilson as my fantasy quarterback for many, many years. He's always done well for me. And I love him because he also played 1 year at North Carolina State University and did really well there. So I've always loved and followed Russell Wilson, and now you're working with him. That's great.
Oh, he's the best. And he also, if you have him on your fantasy team this year, he had 4 touchdowns yesterday.
Yeah.
He was crushing it. The offense is looking fire.
So upset because this is the 1 year my fantasy league said, we're going to take a year off because we don't know what's going on with the NFL, with the pandemic, with people protesting. We don't know what are the rules. Are we going to pick a player and then he decides not to play, or if he gets sick?
Sure.
So we just took a year off, and we're doing just a straight up pick'em league this year. But he went off, man, and that was fun to watch. My Panthers lost. Which is fine, but
so there's 2 things I will say about your Panthers.
Go ahead.
My favorite Carolina Panthers moment is, and I'm not saying this because what we're doing here, my favorite Carolina Panthers moment is comedian Jon Reap gets out on the field because he's friends with Sir Purr. Sir Purr invites Jon Reap onto the field knowing he's a silly guy and a celebrity, and Jon starts dancing with Sir Purr, and the security guard, who has no idea you know Sir Purr or you were invited on the field, ejects you pretty aggressively while you're going, hey man, I was invited out here, and they're like, yeah, right, smart ass. That was the greatest moment.
I gotta tell you, I ran into the original Sir Purr one night randomly. For years, doing stand-up, traveling all over the country, doing radio in the morning, that video would pop up and they would talk about it, and I was like, it was awesome, it was great, so.
I'm a big mascot guy. You'll love
this story then. So the guy in the suit, I never knew who it was. Okay, I got kicked out. I just like the mascot. He's a panther. He's a fluffy big animal. I'm like, I want to go out there and dance with him, and so for years, I never knew who this guy was. But I go on the radio, I'd be like, all right, I'm looking for whoever the Sir Purr was in 1995. I'm looking for you. I want to thank you for giving me my career and all this stuff, So years go by. I don't know him. No one can tell me who he is until I'm happening to do the Comedy Zone in Jacksonville, Florida. And their mascot is a jaguar. And the guy who does the morning show is the mascot, and he
nice.
And he happens to know I don't know how these mascots know each other, especially the cat ones. But
it's a small community.
Yeah. So the Jaguar and the Panther knew each other. And he said, I got his number. His name is Tommy Donovan. I'll call him right now. And we called him on the show. And then Tommy Donovan came to one of my shows, and now we're like good friends. I mean, it's a circle.
I love that.
It's great.
Wait, so then I misunderstood the story. I thought that happened while you were a very successful stand-up comic.
No. I mean, that story's been told many different times, but it happened before I did stand-up. It is what made me want to do stand-up. I had been talking about doing stand-up, and I didn't have the confidence to get on stage, but then like months before that I did stand-up, that moment happened. And all my buddies are like, dude, you just made, 50,000 people laugh without saying a word. At least go on stage and tell this story. And so
that's great.
That's
I didn't know
that. Yeah, that's kind of how it happened. But
because they told me like Sir Per asked you to come.
He did.
That's so funny.
But he didn't know me. I mean, he just saw some kid dancing and the crowd loving it. And so he just waved me out there. He's like, come on out here, kid. And so my friends throw me over the fence and I start dancing. And I never got to talk to him after that until years later.
Well, the reason I like mascots so much is because they're the us of their team. They're the comedian. They're the funniest. The mascots are hilarious.
Right.
And they're always coming up with gags to be that funny without being able to verbalize anything. Like, they're just so creative and cool. I also like them because players break our hearts. They get traded, they sign contracts, they get injured, they don't meet expectations. Dude, Sir Purr's never going to tear his ACL. Right. Sir Purr is never going to take a big contract to go play for Atlanta. Like, the mascots are ours forever. Like, we get to have the Mariner Moose and the Squatch from the Sonics. And so I love mascots. The other Carolina Panthers thing I was going to tell you is so whenever I'm in Charlotte, I give those people so much credit. I say, you know what I love about Charlotte? I love the city. I love the people. I love the comedy here. I love all the people I know. I love Billy Graham. I love Ric Flair. I love Charlotte. I love it so much. Beautiful women. You got Michael Jordan. And one thing I always say is I love me a Cam Newton. And you know what? Charlotte did Cam Newton real dirty these last few years, being like, he's a bum. It's over. We don't like him anymore. And I keep saying, wait till Cam leaves.
Well,
as a Seahawks fan, being stuck with a Kitna or a Rick Mirer, my whole life, we never had a quarterback. We never had a guy that we were like, yes. Even Matt Hasselbeck for a moment.
I was going to give you Hasselbeck there for a minute.
But just for a moment.
Yeah.
And even the season that we went to Super Bowl, we were all chanting like Dilfer. We wanted Trent Dilfer to come in.
Right.
So it wasn't until Russell Wilson came that we were really like, yes, this is a quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, North Carolina's never felt that. You guys have never been in that thing where you're like, Jesus, I'll take anyone. You guys got real comfy with Cam, and now you guys
I could talk your head off about this subject because I was anti-Cam the last couple of years. I was all about him when he came. I'm like, we want a winner. We need to win. This guy's the best athlete in the business. He cannot be stopped, and he was great. He got us to the Super Bowl. I was at that Super Bowl.
You should have won.
Well, there's many reasons. Well, the Denver's defense was way too good, and Cam. I mean, everyone gives him crap for not jumping on that ball. There was a loose ball he could have jumped on, but that is what it is. So we lost the Super Bowl. That's fine. He gets hurt. He's been hurt a bunch.
Right.
And the last season that we had him, there was a reason why he wasn't starting. He was overthrowing people all the time. He still had a bad foot. And he wasn't as mobile as he was. So they had to move on. And then this kid, Kyle Allen, comes out of nowhere. He starts doing good. But then, that was just a flash in the pan, and he starts slipping away. But I'm happy that Cam did well in for the Patriots. He scored like 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Had a good game. He looked healthy.
He had a good game. He looked healthy. I didn't watch that whole game. I don't know how accurate he was. But that's the only thing. I was like, I think maybe it might be done for him, but he's got something to prove now, because I think you're right. The organization kind of did him dirty.
Well, I just think I don't know the X's and O's of like any kind of if maybe he was a butthole behind the scenes or if they were mean to him. But I don't know any of the nitty gritty gossip. Yeah. But I will say, like, the goodwill of the city kind of was like turned on Cam. Like, we're over Cam. Like, it was kind of like this, like, it was like his reputation was just, and I just kept thinking, like, guys, he's so talented. He's so charming. He's huge for a quarterback. If you can just get that kid healthy, that is your number one bet. I mean, he took you to a Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe you guys got a little greedy.
Well, I think they don't like the attitude sometimes. He gets really pouty after losses. He would go to the bench and put his hood up and just sit down there and not try to. If we were ahead 21-0, we were going to win 48-10. But if we had to come from behind, that was tough. He did do that a couple of times, but it was the poutiness. It was the me, the look at me, the Superman, the dabbing. I think people got tired of that when we were losing, and he was still continuing to do that. I think the city's like, settle down, you're not winning.
Right.
but that's the NFL, man. There's always going to be changes like that. But I hope he does well.
He might just be a little too flashy for the Southern type of person. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We're humble. We're like, no, please, you go ahead. No, please, you. No.
You guys like a good old boy. You don't want to.
Yeah, Jake Delhomme.
You don't want a guy wearing big hats and like crazy bandanas and things he's ahead of his time for sure.
Yeah, I think maybe that probably has something to do with it as well. But I did do a lot. I still love my Panthers. I still intend on rooting for them, and I'm going to watch the NFL. In fact, there's games tonight I'm going to watch after this. So my buddy, comedian friend John Heffron, right before I did this podcast, I was talking to him. And he said, you have to ask him a question for me. All right, he's got two questions. This is coming from John Heffron.
I love John.
He wants to know about the Mortal Kombat masks. How much have you spent on masks so far?
Hundreds. I've spent hundreds of dollars. The most thing that I'm spending, to give people some context, every day of coronavirus, I go into my coffee shop. I'm a big coffee shop guy. Like, that's where I do my writing. I also just like coffee. I like the process of going and getting the coffee and chatting up the barista. Sure. So I was like, if we have to wear masks, let's have some fun with it. So I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. And I just was like, what if I make a ton of Mortal Kombat masks? And I just go in and surprise the barista every day with another stupid Mortal Kombat mask. And it just got more and more carried away because I was like running out. I was like, one day it was just like the Raiden hat from like.
Oh, so you're doing different characters from Mortal, not just one character. So you weren't Scorpion every time. You were like different ones.
I did Scorpion 3 different times, but those are 3 different Scorpion masks. I did Sub-Zero 3 times. Those were 3 different Sub-Zero masks. I did Smoke, Noob Saibot, Cyrax the robot, which was just a whole motorcycle helmet.
Yeah.
I did Kitana and Jade with the full woman's wig. I did like the whole thing. Right. But if I couldn't 3D print it and paint it, I would buy it from like the place online. So I spent money on paint. I spent money on 3D printing materials. Right. I spent some of the like elastic straps and the clips and the Velcro and the hot glue. So that adds up. Mixed with some masks just costed me $60 just before I even got them. So I probably spent about $600 on masks.
I love that you did that though. Why not have fun with it? That's the whole reason I made this one. I mean, I just want to put a smile on people's face and try to get through this in a happy way.
If we got to do it, why should kids have all the fun? Like, let's just make the best of it. Let's not complain and post on Facebook. Let's just have fun.
Exactly. He also wants to know about your dog and the goggles. Does the dog really like wearing the goggles? How can you know?
Okay, so the truth is that I've never told anyone. He hates the goggles. He doesn't like the goggles. But he's not in any discomfort. I know that. Yeah. He's just annoyed by them. He doesn't like a thing on his face. But here's the thing. I do like when he wears the goggles. It makes me laugh. It's funny. People get a kick out of it. And so the only time he doesn't try to get the goggles off of his face is when he's in my motorcycle. I have a motorcycle with a sidecar. And when people see just a motorcycle with a sidecar, first of all, they're like, what is that? And they smile. But then to see a golden doodle with like dope goggles in the sidecar, they're like, shut it down. We have to get a photo of this. Like, I mean, people are just so happy.
Yeah.
So that he likes that because the wind is in his face. So he likes the goggles then.
When I saw you when we were doing, I guess Fryman in Studio City, I think we walked back to your Jeep. And then I saw the dog, and I think the goggles were coming out at that point. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's fun.
Yeah. Well, it's also like I have so many weird things. Like I've got like this insane like gun. I have an insane Jeep. I have an insane motorcycle. I have these like big knobby tired scooters that I ride around the area. I don't own anything practical. Nobody looks at me and says, that guy's cool. But everyone looks at me and goes, that guy's fun. That's a fun guy. Like everything he's doing is silly and fun. So I pride myself on that. Yeah,
man. Same here. That's what I try to do. I don't take life serious. I mean, I've been trying to prove my mother wrong since one day I came home after a party in high school or something, and I was a little bit tipsy, and it was like the third day in a row. And she grabbed me. She goes, John, life is not one big party. And
you proved her wrong.
Ever since then, I've been trying to prove to her, no, it can be, and you can get paid for it.
If someone would have told me when I was like in 5th grade, because I've always been the class clown and the big like goofball, it's just a coincidence that I ended up like filling out and looking like a real adult. But if someone would have told me like, hey, you know what you're doing here, being the class clown, you know that pays like really good, like that's a fucking great career. I wish someone would have told me that, because I had no idea. I just thought I was going to be this loser who could only make people laugh, and then it turns out that's a way more lucrative job than anything else.
How did you get started, man? Like, did you so you were class clown? That's funny. I got class clown senior superlative in high school. I got it. My brother got it after me, and my dad got it when he was in high school. So it's really weird. I've always been trying to make my dad laugh, because I thought if I can make the head comedian laugh, which to me was my dad, then I think I can do this. But I didn't know it turned into a job. I had no idea until I moved to Raleigh, North Carolina. How did it start for you?
You're like the Ripkins of class clown. Yeah, Cal Ripken Sr.
The Ripkins.
You're Cal, and then Billy Ripken. And Cal Sr. and Billy Ripken, they were in the hunt, but Cal is the guy.
I like that you went with Ripken. Yeah, that's
so for me, I knew, and if you ask anyone I went to school with, I knew from, I think it was like 3rd grade, I knew I wanted to be a comedian. I didn't know I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. I just remember being like, I want to be the guy that's on SNL, or I want to be the guy who makes people laugh. I want to be like John Candy, or like in this movie, he's being the funny guy. And so I knew at 3rd grade, I would tell everyone like, I'm going to be a comedian. I didn't think stand-up comedian. I just didn't really know how it worked. And so I never tried to apply for college. There was no me trying on my test scores. I was just my GPA had like numbers and letters in it. It was like 200F2H like my GPA. I was the worst. I failed everything. I was suspended all the time because all I was trying to be was like social. But I was really likable, and the teachers were like, this kid's the best, but he just doesn't try to do his schoolwork and stuff. And so I had a lot of learning disabilities too, but mostly because I was lazy. Yeah. And then so the second high school was done, all my friends moved away to college and moved away to like, these cities that are just university cities like Pullman or like the University of Washington in Seattle. And so I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, I guess I'll be a comedian, but I didn't know how that worked. So I was volunteering at Young Life, where I get to do like characters in front of all the kids. Oh, so yeah, it was awesome. Like every night I would just basically get to be a jackass. I would go to Goodwill, put on some costume, and I'd be like, now I'm a hillbilly. And I'm sure none of it was great, but it's a pretty easy audience. They're like junior high and high school kids. And like, I'm this older boy who's like trying to do these like silly sketches for them. Wow, that's awesome. And it was awesome. And then after a few years, once I was done interning there, I just walked my ass to Giggles Comedy Club, signed up for the open mic, and I fell in love with stand-up comedy. Even when I was bad, I was like, I love this. Wow. How old were you when that first happened, that first time on stage? I think I was 23. And I got to give credit to the guy. His name was Ronnie Wilson. He was like a mentor to me. He was also a Young Life leader. He was rich. He was like cool. He had like a nice family. He was a really great guy. And he was like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, you're making $0 working at at the church. And I was like, I know, but I don't really know. I mean, I know I want to be a comedian. And he goes, if you asked 100 of your friends if you'd be a good comedian, how many of them would say, he goes, all of them would say, that's a great idea. You should go pursue that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, really? And he goes, yeah, everyone thinks you're funny. So he just encouraged me.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what do I do? And he goes, I think you just go to a comedy club and tell them you want to do that, figure out what that process is. And I was like, okay. And from literally the next week, I think it took me a week to get the balls to go down there. But once I went down there, I was like, oh, I'll be here every night. Yeah. I'm going to sit at this club, even if I'm not on stage. I'll just soak up comedians. I'll obsess myself with comedians. Yeah. And that's why I'm successful, because I get obsessed with things, and I can't just make one Mortal Kombat mask. This is going to be a video with 40 Mortal Kombat masks.
Now you're hosting every third show I see on television. Seen you on Better Late Than Never with Henry Winkler, William Shatner, Terry Bradshaw, George Foreman. That must be amazing. Is that
fun? Is
that still going on? I know everything's shut down, or what's the plans?
Nah, because where's COVID? I mean, we did 2 seasons, which is great, and now it's just kind of up in the ether. Who knows if it'll ever be a thing again?
Right.
I'm doing a show right now called I Can See Your Voice, which comes out in a week or so on Fox. It's like Masked Singer in reverse.
Oh, interesting.
So instead of not being able to see them and hearing them, you can see them, but you're not able to hear them. So basically what it is you have to determine if you think they can sing or not, based on just looking at them and stuff like that. So
when does that come out?
I think it comes out next week.
Oh, sweet. All right.
Yeah.
And if people want to see your tour dates, they can head over to jeffdye.com. Yep. I was just checking that out. And thank you so much for, number one, letting me be on your podcast. This is a Smashcast. And also, thank you for being on Country-ish Podcast.
Thanks for having me, brother.
My pleasure. See you, buddy.
See you, John.
Jeff Dye, everybody.
Woo-hoo.
Take another look and tell me that.
All right. Thank you, Jeff Dye. If you want to learn more about Jeff Dye, go to jeffdye.com. All of his stuff is up there, including his podcasts. I'm jealous that he's got one with Russell Wilson. It's funny, in that interview, he was talking about Cam Newton. And look, his Russell Wilson just beat Cam Newton. So you're welcome, Jeff Dye.
Yeah, he needs to dig into Russell Wilson and see what these players are really like.
That's right. Yeah. Also, I have more than one podcast. I've got Country-ish, which I'm very proud of. I get to do it right here with these guys. But I also have a podcast with comedian John Heffron. It's called Heffron and Reap. And I'm going to give you a little sample of it right now. In this, we started talking about 1980s country songs that we liked. And we just went on a tangent. And just enjoy a 5-minute little clip here of Heffron and Reap.
I'm not going to say anything else until you tell me all about your sunglasses.
God bless you. Okay. I appreciate that, John. Back in the day, I don't know if it was Ferrari or Porsche that made sunglasses that you could fold. They would fold right here.
Porsche.
Huh?
Porsche
made sunglasses that you could fold.
You know why I pulled you over?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Was I speeding?
Yeah. They were Porsche, I believe.
Porsche. Yeah, you could fold them up. And then they had a little carrying case. You could put them in the little leather carrying case and zip it up. And some of them had the like a leathery type part for the side, and it would loop around the ear. That's what I was trying to say. And then you beat me to it, and it upset me.
Sorry, right?
I'm over it now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Chase says I got Ronnie Millsap shades on. I don't know. Oh, Ronnie yeah, sorry. When you said Ronnie Millsap, I was thinking Conway Twitty. Ronnie Millsap is the blind one. Yeah. She keeps the home fire burning. Wait, that was Conway Twitty.
What's up? He loves the rainy night.
Nope, Eddie Rabbit.
Wait,
I'm trying to think of a song.
Who are we thinking?
Ronnie Millsap's. Oh, there's a stranger in my house. There's somebody here that I can't see. That's Ronnie Millsap's. I always thought that was funny because, he's blind, and he's saying there's a stranger in his house. There's someone there that he can't see. Well, obviously. There's probably a lot of people in there you can't see, because you can't see. He was a blind man.
I'm looking up Ron Millsap songs. Stranger in My House.
I wouldn't have missed
Millsap,
it for the world.
If I play it, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. Or we're probably not allowed to, right? We'll probably get.
I can do it.
You can't.
I wouldn't change one memory of the things you meant to me, even though I lost you, girl. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Okay, something like that.
Shit, that was good. Are you allowed to do karaoke on podcasts, or do you not have the rights?
Also, don't forget, Lost in the 50s tonight was another Ronnie Millsap's. Millsap hit.
Where are we? Wait, what else, John? I'm gonna hear you more. I want to hear you sing more.
Oh, dude, I can sing, man. I love karaoke.
Hey,
that's why if you go on my cruise ship, I do a karaoke night, and I sing with everybody. I mean, I can't sing I'm not. There's some songs I can do. You know, like I know I got my go-to karaoke songs that I know.
Which
I'm
one?
going to bring the house.
Which are they? Which ones are they?
Well, you trying to get me to do it right now?
I'm trying to stall. By the way, this is the longest pop rock teaser I've ever experienced.
Yes, don't forget, coming up soon, John Heffron is going to put great pop rocks in his mouth. Man, I love that guy. Look, if you want to know more about Heffron and Reap, simply go to heffronandreap.com. It's kind of like countryish.com, except it's heffronandreap.com. You can watch, listen, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff at heffronandreap.com. Well, buddy, I think it's time for another segment. This will be a good way for us to end the show. Mm-hmm. You know, we got the yard sale coming up. So maybe we'll have 2 more items to add to the yard sale.
Yeah, of course.
Because we have a segment that we like to do.
Blah, 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 blah.
You know what it's called? Huh?
GWH.
Yep. Is it time for GWH?
Let's play it.
Here we go. Goodwill Hunting. Goodwill Hunting. Goodwill. Hunting.
We had a little bit to it there.
Yeah. We were reading each other.
Your face is so. Is my face red?
I can't see your face. My vision is blurry.
Got a head rush there.
That's like doing a drug.
Yeah.
Like just do that long enough, it'll get you high. All right.
It did just me just now.
Yeah. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go? Wait.
So explain the game real quick.
Oh yeah, I didn't even explain the game. So from time to time, my buddy, I just got to come clean with everybody. His real name is Mark Hunt.
They knew that.
His last name is not Stamos. He's not actually related to John Stamos. It's just a joke. I made it up for fun.
Long time ago.
Just to be goofy and fun. So his real name is Mark Hunt. And from time to time, go to a Goodwill and get stuff. And this segment, I'll go to a Goodwill and buy a gift for him for $5 or less. He'll buy a Goodwill gift for me for $5 or less. And we exchange it on the show. And we have no idea what it is. But it has to make sense as to why we chose this random Goodwill gift.
And we went the other day together.
Yeah, but you didn't see what I got you.
No, I didn't see what you got.
I made him go off to a corner. Yeah, we don't watch and monitor each other.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to find in there. So, real quick, we found the Alexas in there a couple weeks ago. Remember?
Yeah,
Alexas and
the Amazon
Goodwill.
Echoes or Alexa.
Echo, yeah. I've been looking for one.
We found like a nice. I found 2 of them.
I found the Echo Dot.
That's pretty cool.
Brand new, still in the box.
Like an outdoor one that's huge.
Yeah, but they were in the special locked up case.
Yeah.
You had to get them to unlock for you.
So ever since then, that's the first thing I check
hit that
when I
first.
walk in that door.
Yeah.
Like, what's the prizes in here?
But I like that's usually just junk in there. Okay, so I'll go first.
All right, what you got for me?
I know you like a.
It has to make sense.
Has to make sense. I've been to some ball games with you. You like
kind
a good
of ball games?
Well, football games. You like a good hot dog. You like a grilled hot dog.
I do like hot dogs.
You like to eat it in a bun, right? You like the hot dog in the bun.
I do. I like hot dogs many different ways.
And you're living with your mom now, so convenience is key.
Mm-hmm. I like to grill out and cook for people when they come over to the pool.
You do. You like to provide the means to do that, but you don't really do a whole lot of cooking, do you?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I like
don't try to act like you're a.
What I mean by
master.
that, you're right. Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is I like to have people over to my place and then let them use the things
Grill.
that I have there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got something that you like hot dogs.
Love hot dogs.
This is going to make your life a whole lot easier.
Okay. Let's take a looky.
You want to see what you think about
What is in the Goodwill bag? Let's find out. Marcus Stamos Hunt.
I've never
What have
seen
you
one
done?
of these.
What have you done? Would you look at this?
So it's a
What is
toaster.
this? Hang on.
Toaster oven, but
Oh, there it is. Oh, yep. Okay, it's a vintage nostalgia electronics made a grill pane for hot dog toaster oven.
pop-up hot dog toaster.
Pop up hot dog toaster oven. You can put 2 hot dogs and 2 buns in there.
At the same time. And it was $5.
$5.
Yep. So-
Well, did you look at it, inspect it?
I did, and it may not even be in there.
What if it's not even that?
It don't matter. We got the box.
Well, we got lucky. It
Looks
is that-
brand new.
Oh, it does. Look at here now.
I don't think it's been used.
Okay. So now here's something interesting, right? But by the way, thank you.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to sell this one at the Goodwill Hunt at the garage sale because I've always secretly wanted one of these. But
You
I
knew
thought,
about
like,
it.
what a waste of electronics for just 2 hot dogs.
Yeah, 'cause
you
you
know what I
could-
mean? I know we do it with toast, but that's just bread. Like, who's going to make something like that for hot dogs?
Yeah.
By God, they did it.
They did. So where does the
Right.
any idea what goes where? Oh, hot dogs. Got
Yeah.
it.
See
Two hot dogs,
inside.
2 buns.
Inside, you see the circular part. That's where the hot dogs go.
Got it. I didn't see
And
that.
then the buns, you kind of
Yeah.
open it up and you stick it right in there. So that can come out. So you put your hot dogs in there. So if this comes out, you could put other stuff in here. You could put like put a hoagie in there.
Yeah.
You know, you could put. Think of how many scallops you could get in here.
Yeah, you could stack 4 deep on each side scallops.
So you put it in. It's got settings 1 through 5.
It's just like a toaster. It pops up when it's ready.
Here's the thing. How do you like if you were going to eat a hot dog and you had all the time in the world and you had many different ways to prepare this hot dog, you were not in a rush in any way, how would you cook your hot dog? What's your favorite way?
I don't like it blackened and all that stuff. Is that what you're talking about? Like,
Blackened?
Or like on a grill, people like their hot dog black, like
Okay.
charred.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is I like them boiled.
I don't.
Okay.
No. I like mine on the grill.
Okay.
Or if you can't grill it, I don't want it.
Got it. Okay. This is, well,
But I don't know that maybe this will be toasted.
Typically, like if I'm just at the house and I don't want to go fire up the grill for just me and 2 hot dogs,
You'll boil some.
what I would do is just stick a hot dog like in like a glass of water and just microwave it till the water boils.
Ah,
And then and I like to steam my buns.
in the microwave.
Just my body in the shower. I like.
Oh,
to
yeah,
do
you
it.
put it in
No,
the
yes, you can do that many ways. If you leave it in a plastic bag and just microwave it, it'll produce its own
Condensate.
little,
Yeah.
I typically like it that way. I also love it on a grill, but I've never had a hot dog made in a toaster oven.
I didn't know it existed.
You know what I'm eating tonight?
No.
Hot
You're
dog?
not eating that tonight.
What? Oh.
No, we have to go.
We
eat.
got to
I'm
go to the
hungry.
station. That's
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you.
right.
Oh, look, it's actually got hot dogs on the side of it. Hot dog, pop up hot dog.
But
toaster oven.
it never has been used. That's the best part.
Here's what's great about it. I mean, honestly, you could take this out. I mean, you could put bread in there. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you could put other stuff besides hot dogs. That's cool.
Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome.
you. No, that's fine.
Oh, well, It's going to put it in the box for you.
Oh, yeah, put it in the box.
All right, let me have
All right,
mine.
buddy. I got something for you. And, I know a lot of things about you, Marcus. I've known you for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And I think you're perfect for this podcast. When we go camping, I've even said it out there. I'm out there saying this. I go on record as saying this. I'm not total country. I'm country-ish.
Well, the name. Yeah, I get it.
You're country-ish.
I am.
But you're probably a little bit more country than me.
I grew up in trailers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
When we go camping, do I hunt? Do I do any kind of fishing? I don't do any of that stuff.
No,
I just
you're not
enjoy
down
the
for
company of my friends.
Right.
I went on record. I made a thing for Comedy Central saying I don't. That's not me. But I know you like to fish.
I will.
You and Moody and Ryan were the only 3 people out of 10 of us who decided that they were going to go fishing. You guys just hopped on a 4-wheeler and went down the road in the pouring rain.
Yeah.
And came back and talked about how great it was that you caught fish.
Yeah, memories.
Then put them back in the water. So I thought, this gift will be perfect for you because I know you like fishing. So I bought this for you at the Goodwill.
At the Goodwill.
For $5 or less.
All right. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, buddy. Be careful.
Big mouth Billy Bass.
Yeah.
I remember these when they said this was an infomercial for forever. Does it work?
I don't know. Hit the button. Oh, he's looking at the camera. Big mouth Billy Bass.
Wow.
I want you to put that up in your house.
Look at that.
And I want you to tell people you caught that when you went on the camping trip in Galax, Virginia.
This is good.
Now, why is the fish singing "Don't Worry, Be Happy"? He's dead on a wall, mounted.
Because he
needs to be worried.
Yeah.
He's probably not that happy right now.
You feel it? It feels like a real fish.
Oh, I bet
But I remember this was a big thing at one time. Like this was for sale everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I've not seen one in a long time, and actually one that works. You actually had one that
Well,
works.
I had to put batteries in it myself, so I actually added to this.
Yeah,
I know it says $3, but I bought $2 worth of batteries.
I owe you on that one.
No, we're even. It's probably up to $5.
That's great, man.
But
it's got a little thing on the back so we can hang it on the wall.
Yeah. But my dad bought one of these.
Did he?
We had one of these in the sunroom for a while. He loved this thing.
Yeah.
And since then, they've went on to make other ones that are not just fish.
But this is the original.
I think this is the original Big
Billy
Mouth
Bass.
with a red button underneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was at a Goodwill. Let me see the back of that thing because I wonder. Yeah, the speaker's on the back. This is made. What year do you think this was made?
I would say 98. What is this?
Dude, so close. 1999.
Yeah.
Gimme Industries company made in Irving, Texas.
You know how much money they made off these things?
These things were everywhere.
Yeah, they were
Isaiah,
hot.
did you ever have a Billy Big Mouth bass?
No, I did not.
Do you remember seeing these as a kid?
Nope.
See, this is before his time.
Before his time. He was born 7
I was
years
born
ago?
in 2001.
Do you like to go fishing there, Isaiah?
Sometimes I go fishing, but it's been a while. It's been like 2 years.
Well, maybe somebody out there listening to this will come to our yard sale and give you $5 for that thing.
Oh, I'm sure it's worth way more than that online. That's the original.
Yeah, but we at the yard sale we're selling things that was on here for $5 and up.
And up.
So
yeah.
I don't know, Isaiah. Would you like this thing? I don't think Mark's actually going to hang it in his house.
I'll take it.
What are you going? Okay, just don't resell it. Okay.
I think what you should do, Mark, before you give it to Isaiah, is put it in your daughter's room, and don't tell her. Like when she's off doing something, put it in her. I think they used to be motion activated.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't
like
think
you would
that
walk
one is.
past it and it would just go off.
Yeah, they would. Yep.
Okay.
Good
All
idea.
right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I
Good
appreciate
gift.
it. October 3rd, you want to buy this thing, maybe you can get it out of Isaiah's hands. It'll be tough.
Fighting for it.
Boys, I think we had a good show today. I think you had a good time. What about you?
I had fun.
Yeah?
Yep.
As always, folks, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share. Best thing to do, go to countryishpodcast.com. countryishpodcast.com. Right there, you can listen to the podcast or you can watch the podcast. We're on YouTube as well. You can become a Patreon supporter. We definitely need that. And you can sign up for our newsletter, learn about the show, about the people, and pass it on. Also, still doing cameos. You want me to send someone a personal video message? You can do that on cameo.com/John Reap. I'm everywhere. Ginger Beard Man is still available on Amazon Prime. Ginger Payne on YouTube. That's it, buddy. For the Alan Jackson, for intern Isaiah, for Marcus Stamos, I am Jon Reap.
1, 2, 3.
Bicycle.
Well, life on the farm is kind of laid back, but I wouldn't know that I'm from a cul-de-sac. Don't chew tobacco and I don't smoke crack. Thank God I'm country-ish. Well, it's simple kind of life, never did me no harm, but I do know a guy with only one arm. Keep your fancy smartphones and your self-parked cars. Thank God I'm country-ish. Well, I got a podcast that'll make you giggle. It ain't number one, it's right in the middle. The town's not big, but it ain't too little. It's time for country-ish. Go on, you.
Hey, everybody, it's me again. I just want to say thank you for listening or watching this podcast. We couldn't do this without supporters like you. Oh, wait, are you not a supporter? Well, you could be. It's real simple. Go to countryishpodcast.com. Click on the word support. That will take you to our Patreon page. That's our support page. And from there, you can support us many different ways. There's different levels. You got $5 and up. You got Pewter Pro, Rhinestone level, Executive Zirconia, all the way up to Platinum Elite. And all of them come with different rewards. We're talking hats, t-shirts, ginger beard masks, even be a guest on the show. You got to check out our Patreon page. Go to countryishpodcast.com, click on support, and thank you.
Go on.
Go jump yourself off.